What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the session. I'm Carl Duffy.
I'm Mike Stadler.
Mike, we got a question today about what?
What we do basically for our October deer hunting strategy.
Like our vacation strategy?
I don't know, he didn't really say, he just wonders kind of what we do in October.
October. Well, it's currently October, Mike.
It is October.
Let's see. We hunt cold fronts and we hunt evenings early.
Right, thanks for tuning in. You can catch us. Oh. No, just kidding. So yeah, well, here's October, and we touched on this on another podcast. It's early October right now. It's the 7th here. We were actually both just out tonight on my property. Still trying to knock down a couple does. And obviously we had a huge cold front today. So we thought maybe we'd have some bucks on their feet. We were wrong.
Incorrect.
But that's what happened. But anyway, what we did get is some more intel. Tomorrow, Carl's going to go on his property, do a morning hunt, which we usually don't do. Basically so he can check every camera coming back out, change batteries, get ready. I'm doing the same here. I'm going to go up, check cameras, change batteries. I have a few off cameras running that haven't been checked. Mm-hmm. We really are trying to set ourselves up for the 20th through the first week in November is when we really start to hit it. It's when we're both on vacation.
Yep.
And stuff's going to happen.
Something's going to happen.
That's when we're going to make it happen.
Yep.
All our whole year, our whole summer, winter,
our whole year,
everything.
Yeah.
Everything comes up to October 20th through the first week in November for us.
100% for my
so,
kids here.
I mean,
it's a big deal. Like Mike said, we're going to be pulling our cameras. Okay, so what this final camera pull is going to tell me and Mike is, guys, these are the deer that are on your property currently. Find the top 10% of those deer, and those are the ones you're going to target.
Yep.
For the first week.
All right.
Week 2 rolls around, any Pope and Young deer that comes by us is going to get it.
Correct.
That's
happening.
That's the way it is.
So, really, we do a lot of adjustments. We're adjusting, we're fine-tuning right now because really, all the work we've done, if you follow us, which I hope you do, if you don't, you better start following us.
That's correct.
All the work we do all year is to get ready for now.
Right here in the lower left-hand corner, just hit the Reaper. Subscribe or up.
Just hit the Reaper, baby.
That's right.
So, everything we do, the stands, the food plots, everything is ready for this time of year.
Yeah.
So, like our whole strategy all year, we are setting up, literally. And like Carl said, we're going to see now what we have for deer. Obviously, there can always be stragglers that come in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have those transitioning bucks.
And that can be a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Maybe some gigantic monster walks in and you kill him and be like, yeah, I've never seen him before. Super.
Perfect.
I'm hoping it happens for me.
Oh, yeah. I hope it happens for both of us.
But, so, and it doesn't change what we do. We're still, entries and exits still have to be right. Wind still has to be right. We're still observing. Like, we're not really going in much. Like, tonight now, I went down into my bottom to hunt, which I normally stay out of. But we had a huge cold front. We had a high of 50 today, dropping below 30, 30 and a half. On the barometer.
Yep.
I mean,
the wind was right.
Northwest wind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go.
That's the shots you got to take.
Yeah.
And it was in and out flawlessly.
Yeah.
Carl set a spot up top where I've had a couple of big bucks the last few days.
Yep.
But also a lot of doe.
Yep.
So you still got to be smart about everything you're doing right now.
Yeah, number one thing you don't want to do in early October is educate your deer. Okay, whether it be bucks or does, educating your animals is a bad decision all the way around. Figure this, if you were to educate a big mature buck, he's going to be gone for at least a week and a half, 2 weeks.
And that could be the death of him somewhere else.
Correct. Or he may just, if he's a big enough deer or old enough deer, he may just never come back.
True,
So,
that's true.
gotta watch what you do in early October. When you have an opportunity to hunt in a certain position with some intel that tells you there's bigger deer in the area, and you have, like I said, everything's in line, like Mike said, the wind, the cold front, the barometer for us, everything there, don't feel like you can't go hunt one of your decent stands. Yeah. I'm not saying bomb into your rut stand, your favorite rut stand.
Run right in there.
Yeah. I'm saying, strategically pick your position so you can get in and out without educating deer, and all the other variables are correct. Now, come October 20th, that changes for us.
Yeah.
So October 20th is what we found over the last 20 plus years of hunting together, that here in southern Wisconsin, the pre-rut starts pretty heavy, especially if the weather's right. If it's not warm, you're going to see a lot of bucks moving. You're going to hear people, if you guys listen to the Wisconsin Rut Report, you're going to hear it's on.
I've heard it already.
I know, I've heard it already.
I heard it a week ago. I don't even want to get into that.
I'm not going to get into that part, but it'd be something to ignore.
Correct.
But that's when the pre-rut's going to start, okay? Just because deer are laying down scrapes, and they're checking mock scrapes, and they're doing this and they're doing that, doesn't mean the rut. In other words, what most people think is the rut is the breeding phase and the chasing phase. Chasing phase to me is pre-rut. Yeah. And the laying down of a lot of sign and aggressively moving more towards daylight, that's pre-rut.
Yeah. I mean, bucks are scraping right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And hitting mocks.
And they've been doing it since
September. They've been doing it. You know, yeah. It's going to start to pick up.
Yeah.
Obviously from here out, hard to say. The biggest thing is, you should have a set time of year like we do, and that's obviously going to be your key hunting. So you want to lead up to that and still be smart about everything you're doing. Like, one thing we're trying to do right now this weekend, I know for sure, and we want to be done with it, is we want to get those does out.
Yeah.
That we want out because, right now is the 7th, it's 8th and 9th this weekend.
Yeah.
By the time we get to next weekend, we're into the 15th
already
of October, and we don't want to be taking out does. And we don't. Personally, in our opinions, we want them out now, or they're not coming out.
Yeah, I always want them all. I always want my does off. This is it. So here's what's going to happen on my place. We've got till October 12th to shoot does.
Yeah.
Okay? And then after October 12th, we don't shoot does until late season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we fill both our buck tags and then we can shoot.
And then we shoot them, yeah. But like in here, I was at a disadvantage this last week. I really wanted to take one off. I hurt my shoulder.
Yeah.
So I was down all week. I couldn't hold my bow, couldn't pull my bow back. There was a lot of chiropractor acupuncture visits.
Yeah.
And self-rehabbing.
I'm not going to pick on you because you're old.
I am old.
You are old.
But that has set me back now, and I thought 100% tonight that where you were, you'd drill one. Of course, there was deer there, not where we expected them to be.
Yeah.
Winds were goofy, so they got by. Thick stuff. I sat a stand a couple weeks ago that is a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Every night for doe, except the night I was sitting in it.
Yeah.
So it's hard. You think it's going to just happen, but it's not. So now we're kind of in a crunch.
Yeah.
Because we want to take a couple more out of your property yet.
Oh, yeah.
And we want a couple out of here.
Right.
So we got 4 more doe that got to be put down here in these next few days.
6 days. Or less. Yeah.
So, and that's part of our strategy.
Right.
If you want to look at it that way. Like, we want them out. We want our numbers closer because
it needs to happen.
You can't have 12 doe
Yeah.
and 5 big bucks on your property, because that turns into no competition,
yeah,
which turns into very hard hunting.
Oh, here's another little quick tip for you to understand whether you have too many does on your property. If for some reason you're getting a bunch of pictures of nighttime buck movement, mature buck movement, and you've got a bunch of pictures of does, and then there's very little buck activity rut-wise, so like scrapes, rubs, and crap like that, guess what? You have too many doe on your property. Those bucks are there at night because there's too much social pressure on their property. So that means you need to take does out.
Yep.
Easy way to figure out whether or not you have to take does out, gentlemen and ladies.
Correct.
Correct.
That's true. And you know, it's something we got to get done. And I'm hoping to knock 1 or 2 down in the morning here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're gonna probably go to Carl's tomorrow night. I will take one that walks by me there tomorrow night if I get an opportunity at it, because we got to get it done.
Yeah.
You know, that plays into what we want to do at the end, which is both of us want to put a good buck on the ground.
Correct.
And you know, when you have two, like, you can say, "Oh, I got all these does. It's great. They're gonna bring bucks." Sure.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah,
but,
during the rut.
Yeah, but when you have too many doe,
and they're not on your property.
Yeah, the bucks have no need to compete for those doe, for one thing.
No.
So you're not going to see the movement. You're not going to be, if you like to rattle and grunt and decoy, it ain't going to do you any good.
No.
Because they don't care.
No.
They're like, oh, there's another one over there. I don't care.
No. We've seen a lot of that happen when you get too many does.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, 100%.
You can look it up.
You can even look it up.
Look it up.
That's true. Google it.
Google it.
That's correct.
So those are our strategies.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like us, for the way we look at it, October 20th, so southern Wisconsin, this is how I look at it. I think Mike's pretty much the same way. Southern Wisconsin, October 20th to, let's say, November 1st, October 31st, Halloween, best night of the year.
That's when the monsters come out.
Correct. Pre-rut. Usually I start to see breeding down at my place. Last year was early. Was what, the 28th, 29th?
Yeah.
You shot yours the 29th down there. So figure around the 29th, that's when you start to see breeding here in southern Wisconsin. And randomly, I'm not going to say, you know, you're going to get, it's kind of like a trickle. Certain does come into estrus at certain times. And then that's good till I'd say November 6th or 7th. And then you're going to start to see, in my opinion, the lockdown to about the opening day of gun season. Where, you know, you'll get big bucks are locked down with does and wherever they're breeding them, whatever, and they will move from doe to doe, you know, and it's a good opportunity to catch them in transition zones. But that's when you see on the rut report, lockdown, everything's locked down. Well, it's not really, you know, it is that time of year, but before that, it's not locked down. And then, of course, you go to gun season and everything goes nocturnal because there's so much gun pressure in this state. And then muzzleloader start to get pretty good again. Cold weather hunting, and if you got food, you got deer.
Truth.
That's simple. So that's kind of how we run it through all of October, all of November, into December.
Yes, sir.
Those last statements right there. So we appreciate you guys listening. You can probably have a podcast right there.
Yes, we will.
Right on. Appreciate you guys listening. If you want to just listen to it, you're in the car traveling or doing whatever you're doing, you can catch the podcast at Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. Oh, what else do we have? RSSFeed.com and Apple Podcasts, all under the discussion. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, we sure would appreciate it. Just hit the Reaper here in the lower left-hand corner.
Click the Reaper, please.
Click the Reaper.
Click the Reaper.
We appreciate you guys listening.
Thanks.